In the vast, frigid cold of the Arctic, a brawl unfolds between two notorious predators, the killer whale and the polar bear. The killer whale, known for its fearsome reputation as the ocean's apex predator, and the polar bear, also renowned as the largest and most feared land predator of our modern time. With sleek, streamlined bodies, razor-sharp teeth, and knife-like claws, these fierce predators are the embodiment of power, precision, and performance. So join us as we explore who will win this ultimate battle between land and the fierce killer whale of the sea. Killer whales, also known as orcas, are fascinating creatures. They belong to the dolphin family and are the largest members of this group. Their scientific name is Orcinus orca asterisk. They are called killer whales because of their ability to hunt and kill large whales and other marine animals. Scientists believe that killer whales evolved from land-dwelling mammals about 50 million years ago. These ancient mammals started spending more time in the water and gradually evolved into marine animals. Over millions of years, killer whales adapted to life in the ocean. They developed strong bodies, powerful tails, and sharp teeth. These features helped them become top predators in their environment. Despite their fierce name, they are not dangerous to humans in the wild. Killer whales have a distinct black and white coloring. Their bodies are mostly black with white patches on their undersides, around their eyes, and on their sides. This coloring helps them blend in with their environment, making it easier for them to hunt. Killer whales are also closely related to other dolphins. They share many features with their smaller relatives, such as intelligence, social behavior, and communication skills. Some extinct relatives of the killer whales include ancient species that lived millions of years ago. These ancestors are part of the same evolutionary line that led to modern dolphins and whales. There are different types of killer whales. Scientists classify them into several ecotypes based on their physical features, behavior, and diet. These ecotypes include resident, transient, and offshore killer whales. Resident killer whales live in one area throughout the year. They eat fish with a preference for salmon. They live in pods, which are groups of whales that stay together. Pods have strong family bonds, which can include multiple generations. Transient killer whales, also known as big killer whales, cover large areas. They primarily hunt marine mammals such as seals and sea lions. Unlike resident killer whales, transient killer whales travel in smaller groups, and their social bonds are not as strong. Offshore killer whales are less known because they live far from shore. They travel in large groups and eat a variety of fish, including sharks. Scientists are still learning about these whales because they are so difficult to study due to their remote location. Killer whales live all over the ocean, from the icy waters of the Arctic and Antarctica to the warm waters near the equator. They are highly adaptable and can be found in both open seas and coastal waters. Their distribution is widespread that they are most commonly seen in areas with abundant food sources. In the North Pacific Ocean, resident killer whales are often seen around the coast of Alaska and British Columbia. Transient killer whales are found along the west coast of North America, from California to Alaska. Offshore killer whales are found in the deeper waters of the North Pacific. In the Southern Hemisphere, killer whales are found around Antarctica, South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. They are also seen in the waters around Norway and Iceland in the North Atlantic Ocean. There are many killer whales in the world's oceans, but it's hard to know the exact number. Different populations of killer whales live in different regions. Some populations are thriving while others are at risk. For example, the southern resident killer whales in the Pacific Northwest are considered endangered. Their numbers are declining due to pollution, lack of food, and disturbances from boats. Killer whales are large and powerful animals. Males are generally larger than females. A male killer whale can grow up to 32 feet long and weigh as much as 22,000 pounds. Killer whales are known for their speed and agility. They can swim as fast as 34 miles per hour, making them one of the fastest marine mammals. Their strong bodies and powerful tails allow them to make quick turns and sudden stops, which helps them catch their prey. They have a complex social structure. They live in matrilineal groups, meaning the family lineage is traced to the mother. The oldest female often leads the pod. Each pod has its own unique set of vocalizations, which are used to communicate and coordinate hunting. These vocalizations include clicks, whistles, and pulse calls. Clicks are used for echolocation, which helps killer whales navigate and find food in dark or murky waters. Whistles and pulse calls are used for communication within the pod. Each pod has a distinct dialect, which helps them recognize and stay connected with their family members. They have a long lifespan. In the wild, they can live up to 50 to 60 years. Females usually live longer, up to 80 to 90 years. Polar bears are large, powerful animals that live in the Arctic. They are known for their white fur and their ability to survive in one of the coldest places on Earth. Polar bears are scientifically known as Asterisk ursus maritimus, which literally means sea bear. This name reflects their close relationship with the sea and their reliance on sea ice for hunting. They belong to the bear family Ursidae, and they are closely related to brown bears. Polar bears evolved from a common ancestor with brown bears about 150,000 years ago. There are no subspecies of polar bears, but scientists study different populations based on their geographic locations. These populations can have slight differences in size, behavior, and genetic makeup, but they are all considered part of the same species. Polar bears live in the Arctic region, which includes parts of the United States, Canada, Russia, Greenland, and Norway. They are most commonly found on sea ice, which they use as a platform for hunting seals, their primary food source. The sea ice provides a habitat for seals, making it an ideal hunting ground for polar bears. During the summer, when sea ice melts, polar bears may move to land. They can be found along coastlines and islands, but they rely on sea ice for most of their life activities. As the climate changes and sea ice decreases, polar bears are forced to travel greater distances to find food, which poses a significant challenge to their survival. Polar bears are the largest land carnivores. Males are larger than females and can weigh up to 1,800 pounds. Females are smaller, typically weighing up to 800 pounds, but when pregnant, they can weigh up to 1,100 pounds. In terms of size, male polar bears can grow to be up to 8 to 10 feet tall from nose to toe. Females are generally smaller, measuring about 6 to 8 feet in length. When standing on their hind legs, a large male polar bear can reach up to 12 feet tall, making them an impressive sight. Polar bears are also strong swimmers. They have large, powerful front paws that they use to paddle through the water. They can swim at a speed of about 6 miles per hour and can cover long distances without rest. Some polar bears have been observed swimming more than 60 miles at a stretch in search of food or sea ice. On land, polar bears can run surprisingly fast for short distances. They can reach speeds of up to 25 miles per hour. However, they cannot maintain this speed for long and primarily rely on their strength and stealth to hunt seals. Polar bears have several adaptations that help them survive in the harsh Arctic environment. Their thick fur provides insulation against the cold. Beneath their fur, they have a layer of fat or blubber, which can be several inches thick. This blubber not only keeps them warm, but also provides energy when food is scarce. Their white fur helps them blend into the snowy and icy surroundings, making it easier to hunt seals. The fur is also water repellent, which keeps them dry after swimming. Polar bears have large, wide paws that distribute their weight when walking on thin ice and provide traction on slippery surfaces. Their keen sense of smell is another important adaptation. Polar bears can smell a seal from nearly a mile away and can detect the seal's breathing hole in the ice from over half a mile away. This powerful sense of smell helps them locate prey in the vast, icy wilderness. Seals are the main food source for polar bears, particularly ringed seals and bearded seals. Polar bears hunt seals by wading near their breathing holes in the ice. When a seal comes up for air, the polar bear uses its powerful paws to grab the seal and pull it out of the water. In addition to seals, polar bears may also eat other animals such as birds, fish, and even small whales. They are opportunistic feeders and will eat what is available, especially when seal hunting is difficult during the summer months when sea ice is scarce. Polar bears may scavenge on land, eating berries, vegetation, and leftover carcasses. The duel between a killer whale and a polar bear is an interesting but highly improbable scenario, as they inhabit different parts of the Arctic environment. However, if such a confrontation were to occur, the outcome would depend on several factors, including the location of the encounter and the conditions present. In water, killer whales would probably have the upper hand. Killer whales are superbly adapted to life in the ocean. While polar bears are excellent swimmers and can cover long distances in the water, they are not as fast or agile as a killer whale. A polar bear's primary adaptations are for life on the ice and land, not in deep water. If a polar bear were to encounter a killer whale in the water, the whale's superior swimming ability and strength would likely give it the upper hand. On land or sea ice, the dynamics would shift in favor of the polar bear. Despite being mammals and breathing air, killer whales are not designed for movement on land or ice. If stranded or partially beached, a killer whale would be at a significant disadvantage due to its weight and lack of mobility. A killer whale out of water would be unable to use its strengths and would be vulnerable to the polar bear's attacks. While an actual fight between a killer whale and a polar bear is unlikely, the environment would play a crucial role in determining the outcome. In the water, the killer whale's adaptations for swimming and hunting would give it a significant advantage. On land or ice, the polar bear's physical prowess and adaptations for surface life would make it the likely winner. In the natural world, these two apex predators usually occupy different niches and rarely, if ever, come into conflict. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the next one shown on screen.